Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a little girl was perfectly happy. It was a blissful land, with a wonderful king keeping his people safe from the enemy. But one day, a messenger of the enemy, a giant, a ghost, no, an evil spirit, whispered into the girl's ear and convinced her that all the things that mattered, all the opinions that mattered, were outside the kingdom. Now that the kingdom seemed foolish, she left with a heavy heart, following what she called her whisper, and sought the city, which was full of the bustle and shine of earthly riches. However, the king was saddened at the thought of the little girl leaving, so he sent out his oldest, most experienced knight to save the girl. And so the knight followed the girl's path and found her at a fruit tree. "Hello," said the knight. "Hello," said the girl. "My name is Don Quixote de la Mancha, the Knight of the Rueful Countenance," exclaimed the knight, holding his lance out in heroic position. The tip of the lance promptly fell off. The girl burst out laughing. "You're not a very good knight, are you?" "I am the best knight you see, for I follow the king's word, and I do not care what others think of me, no matter how much they mock me." "Truly? I thought that no one could ever achieve that." "Truly. My good friend Cervantes wrote about it in his book called Don Quixote. I learned this when I fought a wicked giant." The girl timidly left the conversation at this point, for her whisper said there was no such thing as giants, although she desperately wished to stay, for she truly wanted to care less of what others thought. Saddened at the dismissal of his knight, the king sent a prince to save the young girl. The prince found the young girl in a mysterious part of the wood. "Hello," said the prince. "Hello," said the girl. "My name is Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, and I will always do what is right, even if it takes my life." "Really?" asked the girl. "But my whisper says that is impossible." "Not with the king it isn't. My friend Shakespeare should have left an account of this." Hamlet then launched into an elaborate example of how the ghost of his father appeared to him. The girl left because the whisper said there was no such thing as ghosts, although her soul was twinging, for she wished to always do what was right, and she wanted to go home. Heartbroken at the girl's rejection, the king sent his most trusted friend, his adopted son, after the girl. "Who are you?" asked the girl, rather befuddled at the sight of an extremely wide, old, chuckling man with a cigar in his mouth. "I am known as Gilbert Keith Chesterton, and I believe that you are followed by a whisper?" "You know that?" Chesterton nodded. "Do you trust the whisper?" "Not really." "Does he make you happy?" "No." "Were you ever happy?" "Yes, back in the kingdom." "Are you excited to go back?" "No, I don't think that the king would want me, and he shouldn't. It would be foolish and blind to love someone like me." "His love is not blind," said Chesterton. That is the last thing it is. Love is bound, and the more it is bound, the less it is blind. He knows every part of you, and he loves you still." The girl smiled, and she followed Chesterton back into the kingdom, never paying much heed to the whisper again, and the Lord of all rejoiced. I am the girl in this story. Chesterton Academy has affected me so deeply every day in both community and curriculum. Before I came to Chesterton, I tended to be unmotivated and lonely. I had few close friends, and I saw them very rarely. This was accentuated by COVID. Then I came here, and everything changed. I don't know when it did, and I don't precisely know how. What I do know is that even within a couple of days here, I was excited to go to school, I loved learning, and I had an amazing class that always supported me. This feeling only grew, even in times of difficulty. When I was crying in history because I had just found out that my baby cousin had cancer, my friends came in and made sure I was okay. They checked up on me and told me of similar experiences they had. One of the most interesting things is that they didn't tell me that I had to be okay. They told me it was okay to feel that way. I hadn't really heard that before, and it affected me. It's difficult for me to see the good in myself, and it was amazing that everyone here saw it, and they told me so. One time my friend said that I was like Mary Poppins' handbag, that I was always ready with whatever was needed. Comments like this really helped me to see myself the way that God sees me. The students here are like this because of how much they love Jesus and the gospel. We have daily mass here, and those graces flow into everyday life. I love walking down the hallway and hearing theological discussions from other students, and I love talking about it. We'll discuss what we were talking about in class, from Thomas More to the second coming of Christ. Our house leaders also started some service projects to help around the community. Every time someone needs assistance, there's several people jumping up to help. In our chapel a couple weeks ago, we received the Holy Eucharist to reside here permanently. Since then, I've seen students going in more often than usual and making the sign of the cross outside. The teachers have encouraged us every single day, and I owe so much to them. In my freshman year, Dr. Russell told us that if we wanted to change the culture, we needed to become saints. This idea has stuck with me, and I know it has stayed with my classmates as well. It's a fundamental part of our lives. I've seen the effects of this every day when a student helps a friend with homework, consoles another, and they are all so kind and charitable to others around them. We are united by a love of Christ and held under the mantle of Mary. I have been affected by everyone here, and I am convinced of their future sanctity. I also know that none of this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you. You are building the next generation of saints and changing the culture. The students have affected everyone around them, and I can't wait for future students to be set on fire as well. Because of this, I invite you to join our mission and to make Chesterton Academy a part of your life. Please pray for our school, and I invite you to come and visit us on a school day to see our school in action. And I'm not embarrassed to stand in front of you tonight to ask you to consider supporting Chesterton Academy financially. To enable the continued rapid extension of our curriculum, faculty, and extracurricular activities, we have the ambitious goal to raise $200,000 this evening. And thanks to a generous donor, we have a $40,000 matching gift. All gifts up to $40,000 will be automatically doubled. At each place setting, you will find a pledge card for the Chesterton Gala and an envelope. There are also pens at your tables. Please mark your contribution under the My Contribution section. Then mark how you would like to make your payment, by check, by having a statement sent to you, or by a credit card. If you are using a credit card, there is a QR code on the back of the pledge card that you may use. You can scan the code with your smartphone to use this option. We are also thankful that many employers have contributed to Chesterton Academy through corporate matching donations. If you are employed or retired from a company that provides a match, please indicate what the match will be and from what company. Then the easy part. Please fill in your name, address, phone number, and email. If you run out of room, please feel free to use the space on the back. Once you have completed your pledge, please place the card inside the envelope, and one of our students will come by your table to pick it up. Thank you again for joining us tonight and for your support that makes this place possible. Thank you.